Wyn, how are you? How's your hand?
It's getting better. It's still got a bit of a lump on it though. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So which bone is it?
The metacarpal here.
Right.
But it moved the knuckle back a bit, so then they just put a screw through. But it's still got a little lump on it there, yeah.
Where's the knuckle at? How far's it gone back? And is it?
See, it like sits. It's like sitting. Look at the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite.
Got some hands on you, haven't you, kid?
Yeah.
Like the look of like.
Well, that was the problem. When I went in for the surgery, they're like, "Yeah, we put a screw in, but we didn't have any big enough ones."
Actually, yeah.
so the screw we've put in is quite short. I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool." And then they're like, "Yeah, you got to keep it still now because we don't want the screw to move."
Yeah.
But they probably moved it a little bit, but I think it's
no
right.
way.
I think it's getting better, so.
You needed a bigger screw.
Because now I can like at least make a fist, and I couldn't do that at all.
Have you learnt from previous experience, sort of like doing stuff with metal in your body and then it going wrong?
Don't know about learnt, but yeah, I had a bent plate in my arm for quite a while. So.
Did you?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
On this arm, so it's not really straight.
Oh yeah.
But it was like here, it was like fully bent.
Mate,
My arm was broken.
Unbelievable.
It was like a banana.
Really?
Yeah.
And you could put your finger in, couldn't you?
Yeah, it was like you can still feel the screws in there, but it was pretty. It was like what?
Yeah, it was proper, wasn't it?
Well, I used to make jokes when I was in the town drinking, and I'd be like, "What?" And they'd show someone, they'd be like, "Oh, your arm, you've got to go to hospital." I'm like, "Nah, it's good, but because it looked real bad." And then the people would be freaking out, but I'd be like, it didn't hurt because the plate would hold it, but it would hold it like completely bent.
No way.
Yeah, like the plate was like that.
Weird, it didn't hurt. You'd still think it would hurt, wouldn't you?
It not make any difference to riding either. It was okay.
No, I rode some races like that, but it was painful.
Right.
Yeah. So I hit a hole in Fort William, and I just went, and it went, and then I like felt it go, boop, and then I was like, kept going because you're racing, so you're like a bit of adrenaline. You get to the bottom, and then my arm's like bent, and you're like telling yourself it's fine. You're like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Straighten back out.
Go to the X-ray, and it's like the plate is like that.
That made me feel sick.
Yeah.
Look, I don't understand how there's no nerves in there, how there's no pain. I sort of don't really understand pain when it comes to brakes.
There was pain when I like did drops and stuff.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Yeah, with angle too. I guess it's putting more pressure on your wrist.
Different
or
forces, yeah.
So maybe it's when the bones touch.
Yeah.
I worry on podcasts how much you can like reveal yourself as completely stupid.
I mean, if you've not done that by now,
in it.
Yeah.
But like, what actually? Because there's a different pain for breaking something, isn't there?
But I think maybe it's more simple here because it's like one big bone in the middle of your arm, whereas in your hand you've got so many things.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more complex, but it was lucky the fracture was not too crazy.
So did you know straight away, like, what was the crash like? Because there's no video, is there?
When I woke up, I knew that my hand was not good.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, go back. When was it? It was the first round?
Yeah, we were in Lenzerheide, and it was the qualifying run. So, I was doing my qualifying run, and it was off the last drop. And I, like, slid a bit in the last kind of corner, so I was like, I'll pedal a bit more. And then I just went to flat.
So the wood drop?
Yeah, the big wooden drop.
Yeah.
So I went like maybe a little bit faster than normal, and I just landed on the flat.
Oh. And did you
my hand
salmon over the line? Did you get a time in?
My bike went over the line, so they crossed the finish, but I didn't. But
So what happened? You slide out, or
no?
what?
I think my thumb just peeled off the bar because my thumb was like black as well.
Oh.
And then I just went straight into the ground, head first and hand first. Like I punched the ground, I think. And then my hand was broken, and then my head just went straight in the ground. And then I don't know, like everyone that watched it's like, yeah, it was so bad. I'm like, well, I haven't seen any videos and there was no photos.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
That's strange, especially now when people are videoing and filming everything.
Everything, yeah.
And there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool in a way.
But a lot of people were pretty worried, yeah.
Really?
And that was first round, first qualifying, like the qualifying, not semis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
have to remember. It's
Yeah,
quite,
there's more now.
But then I kind of came round when I was getting taken away in the ambulance, or like to the ambulance. So, but I'd already like walked out of the finish.
oh mate.
And
I
they
was
were
a bit
like,
missing.
you refused to be carried out. So I was like, well, yeah, I wasn't really all there. and then apparently, like, my hand was like, I was like, there's like a hole there where it like popped the skin. The bone was not sticking out, but it, like the force of it popped the skin.
So it had stuck out, or
Yeah, so like there's a scar there on the top, and then it just So that was like a hole, and there was just blood just going, psh, psh, psh. And then I was like, I looked at it, and then I was going like that. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty bad, but it still works.
oh no.
What's the first thought though when you've had a first round and you've come round, you get your senses back a little bit? Where's your head at straight away, knowing that we were literally the first round of the World Cup?
It's not really ideal, but
No.
you're like, well, we can't do much about it now, so it's like you're on to trying to recover and get it sorted. But luckily, I was in Switzerland and I have insurance, so
okay,
it was pretty easy. The hospital was like a hotel.
Was it really?
Yeah, I could have stayed longer.
How long did you
The
stay
food
for?
was overnight. The food was good. You have a menu and everything.
Really?
They do it different there, eh? You pay. What do you pay? Like a. How does it work in Switzerland?
It depended if you. So this was a public hospital, but they already ask you if you have private insurance, then you get your own room. But I didn't know what mine was, so I had to share a room with a guy that looked like Borat. But and he snored, but it wasn't too bad.
Like the mankini.
The room, hopefully not. But the room was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And it's comfy. And then they did the surgery like within 4 hours of the crash. They done it with me awake as well.
Could you see it?
No, I didn't watch because they had put the thing up.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to watch. They didn't cut much, but they only did one stitch. But then they must like pry it apart.
Yeah,
so they can get in there. And then they were like pulling. I had like a nerve block in my arm. So my arm's just dead. But then you feel them like pulling your arm. And I'm like, what are they doing?
Like you can feel it in your shoulder, or your neck.
Yeah, pulling your shoulder. I'm like, what are they doing? And then there's like, when he opened it up, he's like, yeah, we've got two options with this one.
You can hear it all.
Yeah, and like, and he's like, I'm like, well, you go with whatever's best because you know more than me. And
Let's
he's
have a
like,
look.
all right, yeah. So then you hear, you're like, yeah, that's good now.
No way.
Yeah.
Start stitching you back up and get out of there.
Yeah.
Dude.
And
have you ever watched one
They
of
kept
those?
me overnight because of my concussion, but that's why they couldn't put me under for the surgery. So I had to do it to wait. They're like, oh, we can do it now if you do it with a nerve block. And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Have you ever watched one of those surgery shows?
Yes.
Like how much it like stresses you out.
There's a lot more pulling and banging than what I think.
It's
Yeah,
quite
right.
aggressive. Yeah,
Think
they were
there
definitely
is.
pulling my arm, like trying to get something. Because I think they're trying to get that bone back in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they know like mechanically what you have to do to get that bit there or whatever.
And how much force they need to use. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go in for like a hip operation or something like that, you're best not watching it on YouTube first because it's quite savage, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the hammer and the chisel out and they're like really going at you.
You had dislocations before where it's been...
Not bad.
I had a dislocation of that finger in Madeira and I flew back 'cause I thought I'd put it back in and I flew back with it. Like obviously it didn't move, but I thought, oh, that's because it's just damaged from the dislocation. And I got back and they were like, yeah, it's not in. So then the lady had she had her legs on my
Shoulder.
and she's pulling as hard as she can to like get it back in.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that it was. I was on like gas stuff.
Yeah.
But like just think about the human body, like the amount of force. Like imagine pulling a rope,
Yeah.
or like a fishing line, or like I don't know.
Yeah, it's way gnarlier than what you think it's going to be.
Innit?
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see any surgeries.
So in order to put the bone through your skin, punching the floor, you probably had to punch it way harder than you almost think.
Yeah.
Well, I think the drop to flat's probably like 7 meters. And then at 40 k's an hour or something. So then you think of that force is quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think I was knocked out like 5 minutes. So it's
Really?
not really ideal either. Yeah.
That's a long
mate.
time.
But I've had a few over the years similar like that. Not recently though. Nothing for ages.
No.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this clip? If so, please like and subscribe. The full episode is available by hitting one of the links on the screen right now, or type The Ride Companion into your favourite podcast app. We've even put links in the show description for you. Cheers!